Okay, Agent Orange. We operated in quite a few defoliated areas where Agent Orange had been dropped. Some was in progress, some was dying. Some places, all the leaves were off a tree for like a mile or two. I have mixed emotions about it. It was toxic, but at the time, the theory was knock all the leaves off the tree so you could see Charlie. But the only problem with that is Charlie could see you too, and I'd rather be sneaking around in the jungle looking for him than walking around through this stuff, and I actually got some pictures of me in defoliated areas, and like if you notice, there's no leaves on the trees, and as far as I know, there's no fall in Vietnam. I can remember walking through those areas. Even at the time, you could smell it. Yeah. It had a smell, and
what it smelled?
It had a smell, and it just didn't seem right.
Could you describe the smell, or is it nothing like you've ever smelled?
No, it was kind of sharp and pungent, And I remember one time when it had been raining for 3 or 4 days. We finally it stopped raining, and we were trying to get dried out. So we were trying to find something to start a fire and burn. And it was in a defoliated area. But we found some stuff, finally got it going. And but it was so wet and it was smoking. And I remember some guys getting real sick, puking, just that were near that smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's related or not, but that can't be good. But I remember it was like yesterday.
I remember you said you were around it a lot. You slept in it, right?
What's that?
You slept in it, like it was everywhere?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was just in the area. You didn't see dust or anything. It was just in the area where, some places, all the leaves, all the foliage was just dead, and it's kind of reddish color. Yeah. And sometimes the leaves were all gone for an area, Yeah. But at the time, we weren't really aware of it that much. We knew that it was defoliated areas, that we were through it, but we didn't even concern ourselves with it, that it might be toxic,
Have you had any health effects of it later in life?
I don't. When I first got out, when they first started doing tests, I got tested because I had some rashes and stuff, but at the time, they thought it might not be related. Back then they just denied everything. That's it's so weird. When I came home, I wouldn't do anything with the VA, but they sent me a letter. They said your unit was in defoliated areas. We're going to start doing testing. I don't know. This was maybe 10 years, 5 or 6 years after our home, 10 years, and so I went over to the VA. And back then they didn't have computers and stuff, but they give you a card. So they did skin tests and some blood tests, asked questions. So they called me back over. So I remember going, and there was a secretary there and a nurse. And this was before I had children. And I wanted to know before I had children if there was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was concerned about. So I was there waiting, and they looked at me, and she said, we haven't found anything that's positive with anybody. And they treated me like I was there with my hand out. And I said, that's good. That's what I want to hear,
Yeah.
But I got so mad.
Right.
And I gave her my card, and I didn't go back for years until my dad started going to the VA, take my dad over. I was so angry.
Yeah.
But back then, the VA treated you, especially Vietnam vets, horrible.
Yeah.
They acted like you were there for something, like a free ride or something.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get a clean bill of health. That's what I was worried about,
Yeah.
So they still send me updates. I'm in on their registry.
Yeah.
whatever. They just send me updates, and I always check it to see if there's anything that might be related to you, you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I don't think I've had the effects. But when I had the reunions and stuff, yeah,